Hello again, everyone. It's Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo for another special report from Star Citizen Addicts Anonymous. Trying to get this one in under the wire because, well, I know I'm getting sick, and if my daughter turns out having strep throat, chances are I have it, so I've got my fingers crossed and my toes crossed. But all of a sudden, my throat feels like there's a bunch of razor blades in it, and I was feeling okay just about 4 hours ago. It's getting worse as I sit here. This today is going to be another one of those videos from, well, me with no Ben in it, but the voice of Ben. I am still trying to work out how to get him, well, to be in a better situation. And what I've been doing is having the videos with him a little bit later in the day, and they've been going great. But I just don't seem to have the bandwidth to do the video also. So we're going to sit here and watch a little bit of Vanduul Swarm in one of my favorite ships. It gets redundant hearing me say that every single time, right? But this is my 350R, and let me tell you, what they have done with the current implementation of the control methods in the game is incredible. I can't believe how much fun I have had in the past week just playing different matches. It is getting better and better. It's still a lot of the same repetitive thing over and over again. I don't mean that negatively, but I just mean that, it's kind of tough to play Vanduul Swarm all the time, or capture the flag, or Battle Royale. I want the real game. I am so longing for it. So I'm trying to get this under the wire, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to give a couple of short ones and put them together and call them Star Citizen AA, because I wonder how I'm going to feel tomorrow when it's time to stand in front of a camera. Well, it's time for that interview with Ben, and this is going to be a weekly, when he can do it, event, as was suggested by some of y'all. I'm calling it 3 for the community manager, but I actually got a 4th question in today. I used my journalistic privilege, creator privilege, owner privilege of the channel, and I asked him a 4th question. I hope they help you to hear a little bit more about what's going on at CIG. Ben is always upfront with me and gives honest answers, and I hope that you enjoy this episode. Thank you all very much for watching, listening, commenting. Oh, one last chance to get in your entries for the Constellation Model Contest. And this is what I'm going to do for this one. For those of you that really want to enter the Constellation Model Contest, go back a couple of videos. It might even be 10, it might even be 12, and hear what the rules of that contest were. Adhere to those rules, get in your entry, and on Friday I will be pulling the name out of the hat to figure out who gets that. And I will be doing a whole contest to get rid of the items that I have, or not get rid of them, but give away the items that I have for the State of the Game 6 and State of the Game 7 contest, as well as my patron contest for the 890 Jump signed brochure. Hope you're all excited to hear that, but that should be coming rather soon. Thanks again, and here is Ben and me. This is Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo and Ben Lesnick once again for our 3 questions for the week. And I thank you very much, Ben, for doing this with me each week. I appreciate it greatly.
Oh, no, anytime. Whatever we can do to reach out to Star Citizen backers.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm pulling questions from 3 places. I'm pulling questions from the subscriber den, I'm pulling questions from my Twitter feed, and I'm pulling questions from the comments in my videos. So it's, I have to filter through a lot of questions each week. So I'm just going to pick 3 from there, and the first one is going to have to do with the production cycle that we've hit so far. We've had Arena Commander come out. We've had some really nice ships come out, and now we've seen the Planetside module, and we've seen the first-person shooter module. And a lot of people feel like all of a sudden there's this lack of information coming out. Now, we know that there's a lot going on over there in Santa Monica and Austin and Manchester and also over in Montreal, but we don't really see that in the feed. This is the question, how it's worded. We're getting things like updates to the Galactic Guide, and we're getting fiction. What can we expect to be different? Are you going to be as transparent as you were before? Are we going to see the production cycle, or now that everything is laid out before us, are we just going to have less information week after week?
No, absolutely not less information. This is one of those things I think we will it will be something we hear forever. Oh, you're not putting out information. You used to put out more information. I don't think that's ever been the case. I think today we put out more information than we ever have before. We've got the monthly reports. We have a weekly broadcast now that actually goes through the production report and tells people what is literally happening at the company. And we are, as I said at CitizenCon, we are going to double down on some of the community engagement. We have, in fact, I sat down with Chris and Travis and everybody, and we planned out kind of Death of a Spaceman style game design doc posts for the next 6 months, hoping to do 2 a month, just to talk about mechanics you guys haven't seen yet, because you honestly haven't seen anything yet. There's so much more of Star Citizen to reveal. It's going to be a great ride for the next year or so. I wish I could tilt my camera a little and you could see the calendar of events that we have for the next year. It's already has people here scared. There's a lot coming.
Those are the things I look away from when I visit your place. When I walked into David's office, he had all the he had the outline of like the Squadron 42 first 4 missions, and I was like, no, don't make me look at it. So that's pretty hard that you have it over there and the camera can't go there. People are going like, point, point, point.
I was up there yesterday, and all they had on their whiteboard was drawings of Banu slaves. It's like, I'm not taking tours up here again.
That's not good. All right. Next question we're going to ask is going to be about Around the Verse. Now, I am sorry. I loved Eric's show, but I think that ever since Around the Verse has been out, it's getting better each show, but you guys bring us a lot more information than we were able to get before. Because it's not just Austin. It seems to be like you're bringing people in from all over the place, and that's one of the things I like about it. But it seems like people miss the personality and the fan interaction. Now, I see personality on the show with, like, James and letting him go free, you know? But do you think that the fan interaction, the fan videos, can find a place somehow in one of the things that you do there in Santa Monica?
Well, first I'll say, never go full James. No one wants to see that.
A foam.
But no, I mean, Sandy and I know we're never going to be Architects when it comes to like that. Yeah, I mean, he was a trained presenter. We're never going to be that. I'm a Star Citizen geek who does not necessarily relish his time on camera. But as for fan content, one of the things we tried to launch with was more fan stuff. We in the first couple of episodes, we actually brought in fans to the studio to interview, and the reaction was, this is fluff. We don't want to see this. We want to see news. It's an interesting equation on the show itself. I mean, I wrote for Mingus Hangar for the whole series, and that was me also.
Yeah.
And the criticism was, these fan videos are so boring. No offense to you personally, but the thing we heard from you was, why are you having all these fan videos? They're so boring. And they're
right. I know that.
I mean, we see. I love them. I love seeing it at Escalando. I love seeing your videos. I love seeing Legante, but a huge population did not.
That's right.
We would love to have a place for those. I don't think it's on Around the Verse. I mean, my goal would be to streamline Around the Verse, have more high quality behind the scenes stuff. You mentioned the other studios. One thing I want to do in the new year is travel to the studios more often. I'm going to be in Austin sometime, just talking with Tony and the PU guys, just to give you more of the inner workings there. Fan content, I think we'd love to fold it into like Reverse the Verse. We're talking about how to make Reverse the Verse more than just, a silly little in-joke of a show. We want to do, we tested it out with the live stream recently where we had the other studios come on and hang out. It would be great to broadcast fan videos, have fans in the office. I mean, I think we're all better off when Disco Lando has to show up, but it would be great to like stream you or anybody in.
Yeah, that would be great. And I think that's a perfect place for it because I really like the format of Around the Verse, and I'd love it to stay that way and get more mature. I showed in my last video, I showed them episode 1 of Wingman's You Can't Say That Online Anymore, right? And I showed them episode 72. It took 72 episodes. Well, it didn't take them that long. It took a while for them to get their mojo, right? And
It did.
And you guys have gotten your mojo, and I like it. I love the way you do the news now. I love the information that comes out of there, and I'm sitting on the edge of my seat every single episode waiting for that little art sneak peek at the end of it, so you've got it down. But Bug Smashers every week? Every other week. I love Mark. I love Mark. I do, but it's like you got to go and like do 10 for the writers right in between there. Every now and then.
I mean, there are some people who. I mean, it seems like there's somebody who likes everything and somebody who hates everything.
That's right.
At some point, we just look at the numbers and we say, "Hey, twice as many people are watching the show as ever watching the Tanger."
All right. I love Mark though. I would never say take him off. I think it's amazing when he does his stuff because I sit there going, "That's how they do it," so it's pretty good. Yeah, and you know, it is a lot that you guys have to deal with. And I used to look at it going, "Oh my God, I got to do another video." And put it up there. I'm like, people don't like these anyway, so I have my own forum to do it. If people want to put out fan videos, put it at the end of my show, not their show, you know? So the next question is, well, I'm probably going to change it at this point because I'm going to go for it.
Okay.
So, you know, I've just been playing with you about the Drake Buccaneer. You know, That's just been a playful thing that I play. I really couldn't care about what comes out. Whatever you guys throw me, I'm going to buy. But it was pretty interesting, the last vote that we had in the last chairman's letter before this week, that the third starter ship got picked. And I thought that was great. But then, instead of just telling us what was going to be the third starter ship, I guess Chris did something different. What was the whole thought process behind that?
Well, to be honest, we sat down to come up with what the third starter ship should be. Chris just got back from Australia. David Haddock, William Weisbaum, and I basically sat down and said, hey, let's throw together some ideas. One of the first things we did was say, okay, we've had starters from this company, so there's 5 more companies. Each one of them could theoretically do a starter ship. Let's come up with an idea for each one. And we came up with 2 that we just absolutely loved. One was the Drake space motorcycle.
I love that one, yeah.
Ended up being called the Dragonfly. By the way, I pushed for Buccaneer.
No, don't worry. It's all right. That's fine.
In fact, I think I have here my notes from when I was going into the meeting. I came up with stuck in my notepad the list of what the ship should be. I don't see that, but
all right, that's good. I could see it. It's
my
blurry,
proof.
but I could see it. I think, and nobody else will see it because we're on camera and they're just getting audio.
Okay. Well, then direct.
Yeah, it's fine. I can't record the audio right now on this because we have bad connections usually. But today it's amazing, and I can't believe that. I have another
check out
idea.
This giant fish I caught. It's so big.
Check out that whiteboard over there. Wow, I can't believe all that stuff you got coming up. No, I have an idea that I'll talk to you about what the Buccaneer will be after the game goes live. You got too much.
I know what the Buccaneer will be in my head.
Oh, you do? Well,
yeah.
We'll talk. But I thought it was good. But once you guys wrote down the first 4 letters, MISC, didn't you think it was over?
Yeah. Well, actually, I said, it's going to be no contest. It's going to be the MISC. What did we end up calling? Reliant.
Yeah.
And everybody else said, no. I think the Drake one has a chance, or I think they might like the military one. So I won that bet handily.
Yeah. You should have called it the Defiant. Made it like a Star Trek little thing.
Yeah, we have Jim Martin, who designed the Defiant, did the Freelancer. And,
that's awesome.
Harold is Jim Martin.
Oh, wow.
He did a couple of ships for us.
Wow, so you have someone that designed ships for Star Trek designing ships for you.
Yeah, but that's actually one of the benefits of being in LA. One of the reasons why Chris wanted to stay originally was because we have access to contract workers from Hollywood. People like Ryan Church, Jim Martin, they're not working on a movie all the time, and we can grab them in there in between and say, hey, it's kind of it's a pleasure project for them to be able to design a spaceship, and we love having that, top of the class ship design.
Okay.
In fact, the only problem with that is that they are not accustomed to the community aspect. So, I think the whole freelancer debate very, very early on scared Jim a bit.
Yeah.
But it's one of the huge benefits to being out here.
I still think the Freelancer is one of the nicest ships in the game, and there's so many gorgeous ships. It's like the top of like the premium stock, for me. So
yeah, I love his work.
So I'm going to take creative privilege here, and I'm going to ask one more question that has to do with something that I put out in the forums. You know what I'm talking about? The whole next generation starship. I'm not going to ask you about the ship, though. I'm eager to see what the result of that is. Mm-hmm. The bigger piece for me is, in my conversation with Sandy, she said that the next generation starship may be precluded next year because of the esports competition that they're going to have for like racing. Is that, you see what there is no poll up there about which one would you rather have, and at this point I know Sandy has everything already set up for esports, or she's not doing her job. It's got to be done. So is there, with the number of people, which isn't a lot because it's not in the comm link, it's in general chat, with the number of people, of people that are asking for a second season, is that being looked at all?
Oh, absolutely. It's something that comes up pretty regularly, how to do a second PNGS, because it's something we could do without a crazy amount of effort. We know how to do it. Some of the feeling is that we need to be closer to the game. There's some feeling that we need to change it up a little bit, to a star system instead of a ship or a character.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not quite the right place to do it right now, but it's very much in the works.
Yeah, I think that's more something for 2016 than the 2015 because of where this game is right now. Get the game ready to be launched, and then that has a purpose. I think the racing right now would be a big thing because it would gain a lot of traction towards the game at something you could do right now, and something that I know is going to get better with the next patch, couple of patches. All right, Ben, I picked the fourth question. I promise I won't do this again. Well,
it's fine.
That's not true. But I appreciate it. I really do. And if you don't mind doing these, I will hit you up once a week whenever I can. Okay?
Hey, it's what I'm here for.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
All right.